question is congratulations.
So having this one-to-one session was an excellent experience, and having a good coach also very much helping me in understanding better about this smart PLS. Now I feel I'm more confident in applying PLS into my analysis.
I really appreciated Dr. Thava's help, in order to make myself continue with my chapter 1 to 3, which I was struggling for past 2 years.
Thank you, Dr. Thava, for coming over to MMU. You have given a very impressive talk on the need to prepare oneself in pursuit of a doctoral degree and later on get a good publication in leading journals.
I'm Dr. Thava. This is my PhD thesis. This is my journal. Writing an impactful journal, PhD proposal, and thesis is difficult, and many struggle to articulate their thoughts and ideas into a reputable journal and final thesis. But now, with our method and strategy, you can achieve just that. Over the past 7 years, we have helped over 56,000 followers in both our Facebook group and page on proofreading, paraphrasing, structuring, consulting, and coaching for journals, PhD proposals, theses, CVs, and many more. Our most prized expertise that no other software or company can provide is our language warranty scheme for all of our proofreading services. Oh, wait, we're not done yet. On top of that, we also provide free revisions for all of our consultancy services. With that said, your journal will be published, KPI will be met, your proposal, thesis will be completed, and you will graduate. Now, we would like to offer you a limited discount of 30% for all of proofreading and paraphrasing services right now. Grab it while you can.
Hello everyone. Very good afternoon. Hope all of you are okay. Hope all of you are very safe, especially those in Malaysia. Please stay at home and stay safe, guys. For those who are, from different region, from different countries and so on, I wish you the same. Hopefully, COVID is under control in your own countries. So I am Dr. Thava. Thank you for joining me in this very, very fine afternoon. Thanks for allocating your time for me, actually. So we have a good number of viewers at the moment. So I would only like to request you to only two things: share the session and also tag your friends in the comment column. Okay, so let's look at where we are today. So this month we are focusing a lot on. I am focusing a lot on chapter one. Okay, a bit of here and there I'll be deviating, but a lot of focus is essentially on the chapter one itself. My specialty is always chapter one because I like to do funnel. Okay, I like to do funnel in the sense that not research design, but rather a research funnel, saying that how do you flow from the overall idea down to your core problem, your core research. Okay. Hello, hi, Miss Hanis. Hi, thank you for everyone who is tagging. Very good afternoon. Very good afternoon. Really appreciate that. So as of today, okay, what we have finished for this past 1 or 2 months, or I think the January sessions all were completed. So this is basically, I call it January February series, okay, because we started towards the end of January. So we finished chapter one, background writing, okay, and then I also introduced something new called Help Day. Ask Dr. Tawa anything, okay? Anything means related to research, publication, PhD, how tough your life can be in PhD, how to solve it, and so on. Okay, not your personal life and nothing else more than that. Okay, all right. And then last Saturday we finished how to publish in high impact journal. Okay, high impact journal. I know for most of the researchers, they don't really, PhD researchers especially, don't really look into high impact journal yet, because for them thesis is very, very important. But you also have to understand high impact journal can be your thesis. A number of good journals can be transformed into your thesis. Don't forget that. Okay, so always don't give emphasis only on your thesis. Publication is equally or also sometimes more important, and you can always transfer all the content from your journal papers to your thesis. That's what I did for my thesis as well. Okay, all right, and today we're looking at comprehensive chapter one template. I thought that I can finish all of it in one day, but then when I go through, it's actually a lot. So I'm going to break it into two different series. So for those who are watching me today, don't forget this is only series one. Series two, probably I'll be doing it together with formulations of research questions. So that's what I'm going to re-strategize. Okay, so for those who just joined me, please stay with me until end of the session. Don't swipe through the video like what you do for every other uninteresting videos. This is going to be very interesting, very important. Okay, don't forget, after this chapter one, we're going to have another help day dedicated for you guys. Okay, dedicated for you guys. Help day. So help day basically dedicated for Q&A. I'm not going to share anything. I'm not going to teach you anything. It's basically, you have any problems, you come and ask me. If I can solve, I will solve. If I can advise, I'll advise. If I can't, you can always PM me and I'll probably get you some help. Okay, all right. So it's basically dedicated for Q&A. You ask, I answer, and we progress together. So I have two special help day in this series. Probably in future I'll have more. Okay, all right. So let's get into it today. This is what I'm emphasizing earlier. Okay, so for those who have joined me today, this is a personal request from me to you. You have to understand, I'm here to help you guys. You have to help others as well. Okay, it's a cycle. Especially in research world, it's a cycle. We have to help each other. Okay, so therefore you have to follow these 3 steps and do this exactly. And all of you, please do this. Okay, please, it's a humble request. Step one, hit share button right there. Okay, and then share it across group, pages, profile, your own timeline. Just hit share, because you have to understand Facebook is extremely monetizing on their reach. Okay, so as long as people like me have a lot of followers, I have 67, almost 70,000 combined followers, they really throttle down the reach, so that, I pay more for ads rather than get organic reach. So I need your help to share. And then in this comment column, okay, before comment column, there is like and love button here. Hit love button, hit like button. Okay, keep hitting it. All right. So step two, share it to group, page, and profile. That's what I told you. Step three, very simple, like what most of our ladies and gentlemen doing right here. Okay, all of these fine people, they are tagging their friends. Okay, so that their friends, if they cannot join now, or at least if they are not notified, they will know that this chapter one session is going on now. That's what I need from you. Okay, so very simple. In your comment column, okay, in your comment column, tag your friends. So if you put add and then type their name, it will come off and you can just tag them so they will be notified. Okay, these are the 3 simple things you need to do for me. Okay, all right, let's go to the next part. Okay, so today we're going to talk all about chapter 1. Okay, I have 7 different sections to cover today. Even within series 1 itself, there will be 7 sections. So imagine if I compress all of it together. I don't want to make it as a lecture. That will be very, very boring. Okay, that will be very, very boring. All right. So this is topic 4, and let's get into it today. All right. Okay. So before we start, a lot of previous sessions are sort of interrelated to today's sessions. So I'll be telling you which video you need to watch for which particular section. So I'm sort of, this is like a summary tutorial that will be guiding through from other videos as well. Okay. All right. So this is my free Facebook classes that I have in my own platform, my own page. And we have how to structure a full thesis, problem statement writing, part of Dr. Bish's experience of getting minor correction, just a motivational video. He worked with us through our consultation program. Why ISI Scopus getting rejected, PhD time management to graduate before time, all these important elements, problem statement writing, and so on and so forth. Okay, there are many, 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 many videos here. Okay, you don't need to go for any workshop, you don't need to go for any courses. Everything here is given free, and you just have to come and watch. Okay, all right. I mean, you can go for detailed workshop, but the overview and so on, you go and reading book, it's very boring and so on. I am basically teaching you that. Okay, all right. Okay, where you can find me all the time, where you can look at my tutorials all the time, where can you actually be notified if I'm going live? These are the 2 places. These are the 2 places. The first one is effective academic writing. Okay, up, no, this side. Okay, up there. All right, up there. This is my Facebook group. We have almost 37,000 members already. So like I said, since the memberships, the followers and members are increasing, the reach will be throttled down so that Facebook wants us to pay more for ads. Okay, so I need your help. I really need your help to hit the share button, share it across group pages and so on. Tag your friends, okay, and hit the love button. The more you hit, the more love you show. Okay, all right. So if you want to come and join us, just scan this or scan this. This is my page. Like me, like our page, and then come and scan, join my group. Okay, so that daily you'll get tutorials, daily posting, daily sharing. Okay, a lot of important things will be shared. When I go live, you'll be notified as well. Okay, so let's start for the day. Okay, table of content. This is the most important thing. Okay, this is the most important thing because this is basically giving you the entire structure of your chapter 1. I'm not telling this is exactly how your chapter 1 will be. There are many school of thought. There are many ways to do things. There are many ways to write chapter 1. Okay, some people's chapter 1 will be very detailed, like so many different sections. Some will be very straightforward: background, introduction, background, problem statement, research questions, done. Not even significance of study. No, okay, they don't have. Okay, like my research PhD thesis, I don't have significance of study. Not really bothered because that's the whole thesis is about, right? Okay, so different universities, different supervisors, different concept have different requirements. Okay, one size doesn't fit all in PhD. Always understand that there is always different school of thought. So whatever you think you know, you might not know if you go to different universities or different supervisors. Okay, always keep that in mind. Okay, so usually chapter 1 will have introduction, background, problem statement, purpose statement. Sometimes problem statement and purpose statement will be combined together. Okay, it will be combined together. When I say combined together, means problem statement tells you the problem. Purpose statement will tell why you're doing this particular problem. Why are you trying to solve it? So sometimes certain thesis will split it. Okay, problem statement telling all the problems. Purpose will tell why you're doing the whole, why are you performing the whole research in the first place. Okay, all right, followed by objective and research questions. Some thesis requires research questions. Some thesis doesn't require research questions, especially in engineering, physics, some medical areas and so on, very technical areas. They don't really look at research questions because they don't derive their research from hypothesis. Okay, research questions are usually connected to hypothesis. So this is where you have to understand the fundamental of research. I've seen a client during my consultation before, I think last year or the year before. I think it's the year before because last year was MCO. So most of the consultation was done online. This one was someone I met face to face in my office. She basically did an engineering thesis and had research questions. You actually don't need research questions in engineering because it's an experiment. So you don't really need that. Quantitative and qualitative is where normally you'll need RQs. Okay. generally speaking. But if a supervisor requires you to do so, then do so, no problem. Okay. So once you solve your purpose, then only you tell your objectives and research questions, where you tell, these are the objectives I'm going to achieve. No, these are the objectives I want to achieve. And these are the questions I'm trying to find answers for. As simple as that. So if you ask me, some people might ask me, don't you think both are the same? Well, in a way, they are more or less the same. More or less, but they are not exactly the same. Because research questions are more detailed. Like detail. Some people will tell, I have four research objectives. Why I only have I have three research objectives. But why I have three research questions? Why I have four research questions? Why not three only? Why they're not matching? My supervisor say must match. Not really, not really. Because research objectives 3 means research questions could break the objective into further more detailed questions. Like first research objective might have 3 different questions. Second might have one, third might have only one. So you might have 3 research objectives and 5 research questions. Okay. Research questions are detailed things that you want to find out from a common objective. Okay. Some people also call it general objectives, specific objectives, rather than having research questions. So as I said, it's different school of thought. There's a different school of thought depending on supervisor and universities on their procedures, how it's basically how they've been trained. Okay, so research can be carried in various ways with various names. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. Then followed by assumption and limitations. Some people put this in chapter 1 itself. So they inform their readers way in advance what should you expect for. What are the limitations? So don't have very high hopes when you go in. Don't complain that I have so many limitations. So I'm showing you up front, these are my limitations. Okay, so they predefine the limitations. All right. And definition of terms pretty straightforward. And then significance of a study. Significance means basically practical implication or theoretical implication. Where am I going to apply my entire research? What is the significance of me doing this research? Okay, I hope all of you can understand and follow. For those who have joined us so far, don't forget, guys, please hit the share button, keep sharing, hit the love button, don't forget, tag your friends. Okay, tag your friends. All right, so let me see here. What is the difference between objectives and aims? Actually, aim is even more broader than objectives. Okay, even more broader. Aims is like the final goal, what you want to achieve. Objectives is what you have to do to get there. Okay, questions is further breaking down what questions you have to find answer to help objectives and to help that aim. So it goes down in 2 to 3 different stages. Okay, I hope I've answered. Let's go to the next part. Okay, Q&A before we go, because I don't want people start sleeping looking at my face. I really don't want that. Okay, so question and answer. Is it better to write the whole chapter 1 first, okay, or get approval from supervisor with table of content before you start writing? What is your normal process? When supervisor asks you to write, do you simply start writing your chapter 1, or you actually design your table of content and show your supervisor, you know what, this is what I'm going to write. This is the breakdown of 1.1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.2.1, 1.2.2, those kind of things. Do you show the breakdown before you start? Do share so that people, everyone else who have joined us today will know whether how to actually approach, what would be the right approach. Okay, so I'll wait for some responses. Meanwhile, okay, for those who have joined us, just joining us, I can see a lot of new joiners coming in. The only condition for you to be in this live session is, there's no condition, I'm just joking. Okay, hit the share button, share it across pages, groups, timelines and so on. Tag your friends in the comment column so they'll be able to join us. Okay, all right. So thank you very much. Since you're watching me from my group, Effective Academic Writing, so I won't be able to see who is this person exactly, but I'll be able to check later. Okay, but thank you very much. Okay, so I'm waiting for the answers. Let's see who gives the right kind of answers. Okay, so do you design the table of contents first to go and see your supervisor? Okay, so let's see. We have the answer. I show the breakdown, but not the subheading, the general headings. Okay, that's fine. Come on, chop, chop. More answers, more answers. Okay, share your experience. Share what do you think is the right method. Oh, we are getting more. Okay, come out the outline. Hi, Joshua. Come out the outline first, so at least we will get to know what to write instead of blindly writing. It's easier for searching relevant info as well. Thank you for very valid information, Miss Nurul. I mean, just general findings. Okay, understood, Miss Nurul. Table of content is subtopic first. Okay, very good. We can write our chapter 1 based on a draft TOC, because TOC can always change. Also through my SV wants the content first. Hi Taslim. Hi Miss Leana. Next one, definition of terms should be from previous literature or your own operational definition. It should be, you can adapt from previous research, but it should be tuned to your own research, definitely. Okay, next, Mr. Parthiban, get approval table of content. Okay, fantastic. Approval from SV with table of content first. Okay. TOC approval from SV. Okay. Hi. Okay, tagging. Thanks for tagging. TOC first. Okay. Okay, excellent. I go by chapter. Write the whole chapter first. Okay, all right. Approve TOC so we can see our destiny together, both me and SV. Very nice. Okay, so basically the good practice. See, let me build relationship with SV first. Well, okay, how are you going to build a relationship? Okay, that's another story altogether. Let me tell you something. The good practice, okay, the good practice is for you to design your table of content first, as detailed as possible, okay, because you want to reduce the amount of comments that you get. It's very sickening to get comments after comments after comments after comments. So better for you to sit down and design a detailed breakdown. This problem statement, okay, what is next? I mean, background, okay, in background, what are you going to write? 1.1.1, 1.1.1, 1.1.2, 1.1.3. Then comes problem statement 1.2. Okay, then if you have purpose statement, then 1.3, 1.4. Then if you have research objective, 1.5. Those things are straightforward. But the background part, you need to break down further, and significant study probably need to break down further as well if you have further sections inside that. It is good to give as detailed as possible your table of content, as detailed. If you ask me how to find out, how do you think you can find out? How do you think? Okay, my personal advice to you is very simple. Go to previous thesis. It's not like you're writing the first thesis in the world, okay, and it's not the first research. I mean, it's not exactly the first research in the world, like saying that you are finding out a new theory of relativity, or black body radiation and so on. Those are fundamental research. You are doing incremental research, more of application research. So therefore there is always incremental work. Okay, it's not of I don't find any literature in my area at all. That is a different story altogether. If you can find literature, that means you're doing incremental research, as simple as that. Okay, so therefore it's always good, before you start, go and download sample thesis. Ask your supervisor for sample thesis. I've spoke to many students during my coaching session, our consultation sessions, even proofreading sessions. They will tell me, my supervisor doesn't want to give me any thesis. Well, I don't know why they don't do that, why they refuse to give. Either they want you to go and look for it, so that because you are independent researcher, or they scared that you'll copy. But eventually you can find it online anyway. You can find it from any other thesis around the world, but try to stick to Malaysian thesis. Okay, all right. Yes, very true. Comments can be so demotivating, so you want to reduce the number of comments as much as you can. Okay, all right, so let's go to the next part. So this is my tips for you. That is what I do when I did my research, when I do my PhD, when I was supervising my own students back in the UK. That's what I asked them to do. Bring your table of contents, show me what you want to write. Okay, all right, so next part. Now in your chapter 1, the first thing you start to write is introduction. Some people write introduction and background together because they can be combined. Some people say, no, I want introduction separately. That's fine, you can do it, not an issue at all. Okay, not an issue at all. Okay, so let's see what we need to write. Oh, sorry. This is the first passage, okay, in a dissertation, thesis, or research article. Whatever I'm teaching you today, chapter 1, this is the exact flow that you can follow for your publication as well, your paper. You can use it, okay, you can reuse it. That's why I say when you write a lot of papers, it's easy to write thesis. Okay, so this is the first passage dissertation. The intro should include create a reader's interest in the topic. This should be your theme. These are the things that you must have when you write. How to create reader's interest in the topic. Then you should establish the problem that leads to the study. Okay, why are you looking into this in the first place? Because you need to pave a path to your background. So for that, you need to create that connection. Okay, place the study within larger context of scholarly literature. That means you must go very broad, very broad. Like you must go to global level. Then only, let's say you're doing Malaysian context or African context or South African context or maybe Australian or European context and so on. You should go from the broader context, then move your way up, way down. Okay, so we have a question here. Maybe it is out of topic. Any tips how to come out with a good title that looks fundamental for grant applications? Ooh, okay, wow. Let me finish this first. If I have time, I'll answer you. Okay, all right. Okay, so next thing is place the study within, okay, larger context. I already told you that. Reach out to specific audience. Okay, that's why I say you go broad, then you go down to specific audience, and then you move to your background before you go to your problem statement. Okay, these are certain tips that it's applicable and might not be applicable. A quantitative introduction typically is written from third person point of view. Okay, so in thesis you don't normally say I, me, my supervisor, and so on. Thesis is usually third person point of view. Okay, this helps create a sense of objectivity. A qualitative study, not everyone, but some people do apply this. A qualitative study may employ present tense to come. That means they will speak in the thesis. Okay, especially linguistics kind of study and so on. I've seen some theses, they actually speak. They are the first person in the thesis. Okay, all right. Okay, so just to share with this is Dr. Asma. She organizes most of my workshops. So we also have a very specific WhatsApp group. You can always come and join us for any Q&A things and that we share directly. We already have 2 groups now, 1 group full. We have to open 2nd group already. Okay, so feel free to come and share, all right? So here, coming back to this, qualitative study may employ present tense. That means communicate immediately with the reader. Okay, that means rather than telling in this thesis and so on, you'll be telling, well, in my thesis, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, and so on. Okay, so it's more present. You're more connected, because qualitative is about description. It's a kind of descriptive study. Okay, all right. And then introduction tells the reader a story. Okay, it sets the stage for a need of your research. That's what introduction should cover all this. Okay, don't worry if you don't know how do I connect this to my study. How do I, whatever Dr. Thava said, how do I write now? Very simple. You take all of this, you go take another thesis, you connect it, and then you can just reconstruct that. Okay, that's how you can do. That's how you can move fast. Don't look at what I'm teaching today and then sit down and try to write. It will be very tough. It will take you time. Go and always try to reverse engineer. I'm not asking you to copy. I'm asking you to adapt. Adaptation is good. Copying is also good. It's also not bad depending on the situation. I always share this, depending on the situation. Everyone is frowned upon paraphrasing and copying. It depends on the context. Okay. I copy from my own paper. I copy and copy and copy because I don't want to simply rewrite again and again. I just paraphrase only. Simple. Okay. Next part. Okay. Background. Background, I'm not going to go into it because it will be very long time. Because background itself was I think how many minutes was it? 1 hour class, as you can see here. Okay, probably it's a bit blur for you guys. It's a 1 hour class. So where can you find my previous class on background? This is where you can find it. Okay, let me close this. Okay, this is where you can find it. So background writing is right there. Okay, let me go back. Okay, background writing is right there. Okay, so if you go here, you'll be able to watch the whole session on how to write background just for that. Okay, and there are many different videos as I suggested earlier: research objective, problem statement, tips for paraphrasing, how to actually paraphrase. Okay, PhD, Viva, defense, 25 common questions, finding research gap. So many. Okay, it keeps going. All right. So do spend your time to go and look into it so that you'll be able to learn. All right. So coming back to this, so I'm not going to touch background. However, I'll tell you the brief description of background. Background is nothing but connecting to your problem statement. If your background is wrong, if your background is not precise, then your problem statement will be a road to hell for you. Very simple. Because you know why? People don't even know why you're talking about the problem. Okay, imagine a film that you watch. I always relate to film. A film, if you see at the beginning, they will construct the film towards an issue, a problem. So the initial part is where you'll be engaged and you'll be deciding whether should I watch rest of the film or should I just quit. Same goes to your thesis. If your background is not good, it's not well written, not connecting your problem statement, then you will be in a lot of trouble. Then they'll keep saying in your defense, my problem statement is not okay. Your problem statement is not okay. You have to do better. You have to do better. Why? Because of this. Because of this problem statement, if you, I mean background, if it's not correct, your problem statement will be in a lot of trouble. Okay. All right. Okay, there's a question. How much of background we should be writing in chapter 1? That depends. If you ask me, 2 pages, 3 pages is good enough. Some people write 10 pages, 12 pages, depends. Certain research has to be very descriptive. They have to come from very broad level and then go down to narrow level. I mean, to problem statement level. So it actually depends. It depends on your own flavor. Everyone have their own way of to cook a curry or to cook a food. It depends on your research. But if you ask me, generally, I see about 3 pages, 4 pages is good enough. Okay. So there's another question. Oh, Miss Abina, paraphrasing is not that simple, especially paraphrasing my own paper. I agree. I agree. But then PhD itself is not simple. Okay. PhD itself is not simple. That's why you guys are special. You guys are special because you guys are doing something very, very challenging. If it's very easy, example in Malaysia, 28 million, probably 20 million of them will have PhD. But that's not the case. The numbers are very, very small, very, very tiny, miny. Okay, because you guys are great, you guys are special, you guys can learn and adopt and adapt because you guys are great. Honestly, trust me on this. That's why you guys are doing PhD. When I'm saying this, you might think, no, I'm not that special. I don't really feel that I'm that good. You know, that kind of thing. Don't ever think like that. You are here because you are dedicated. You are here because you want to learn new things. Okay, so it's all about practice. Okay, my last workshop, I showed them live upon request. How can you actually paraphrase very quickly? I showed them and they got shock of their life, but they don't understand one thing. I mean, my audience or general student, they don't understand. There is 10 years or 11 years of work at the back of me. Okay, let me hide this. There's 10 years or 11 years of work at the back of me, you know, that actually gain all this experience. So it takes time. All right, it takes time. Okay, there's no problem at all, Miss Angeline, no worries at all. It's my pleasure. Okay, so please go to this link to watch this background video, then you'll be able to know how to construct the funnel for background. Okay, let's go to the next part. Okay, now comes to the problem statement part. Now we're only in part 4. We got 7 parts to go, so don't leave yet. Okay, the numbers must stay as it is in terms of viewers, so stay with us. For those who just joined me just right now, let me reiterate again. You have to do 3 different things. Share the session, share it across timeline, groups and pages where you want your friends to see, or yourself, and tag your friends in the comment column. Hit the love button. Okay, hit the love button. Keep hitting the love button, and trust me, Facebook shows me who actually shared the session. Okay, all right. So now let's get into identification of problems. The statement of research problem should be concise and identify key factors, variables of the research. Okay, when we talk variables, everyone asks, what is variables? What is exactly variables? I don't have variables. Well, if you're doing qualitative, you'll have something called themes. Those can be your variables. That means something that is going to change. If you're doing an experiment, if you're doing a medical lab study, what are the elements that is going to change? What are you going to induce? What are you going to introduce? What are you going to change? Those are your variables. Okay, a variable is a characteristic that takes on different values or conditions for different individuals, different situation, different environment, different tests, different analysis. Okay, those are your testing variables. Those are your research variables. Okay, all right. Let me see. Hi, Miss Kiran. I'm in my final semester of my PhD. Do I need to include a brief of my findings in chapter 1? That actually depends. If you want to include, there is no problem. You know what I did? Okay, what I did was I never write. Because you know why? Writing is boring. If I keep writing and writing and writing and writing, it's very boring. Okay, so what I do, I drew a diagram. I drew a diagram explaining. I actually shared. There's a video on that. There's a video on how to design thesis contribution diagram. Okay, thesis contribution diagram. Thesis contribution diagram basically will show your overall broad research area, and then from your area, when it breaks down, where is your contribution? Okay, so from that they will know what actually you have contributed. So I actually drew a diagram for that. Okay, I hope that helped. Okay, so next part is Independent dependent variables are descriptors of variables commonly used in the research. Okay, independent dependent is only used applicable for quantitative. If you're qualitative, you talk about teams. If you're in engineering, you talk about your system, your whatever you're designing, your product, your item, whatever that you're doing. In lab, you talk about your chemicals and whatever you're trying to induce to create something new or to test something. Those are your independent and dependent variables kind of thing that you have to explain. Okay, everything is relative when it comes to research. It's just that you must know how to break down. Okay, so we have no problem, Mr. Jeremy, no worries at all. Thank you for joining us. Next one is should I have global and local problems for my problem statement? Yes, you can. If you haven't covered the global problems in background yet, you can definitely introduce it in problem statement, no problem. Okay. Hi, doctor. Very informative. Thank you very much. No problem. Okay. So now, next part is independent variables may affect dependent variables. That is the actual case. So that means if you're studying something, whatever you're putting inside to study that, that is your independent variable. That is how you have to explain. You have to explain your problems that this is a problem. So I'm putting this into this to solve this issue. So your problem statement must highlight that. Don't forget about that. Okay. And most importantly, a problem statement must say why you're doing it in the first place. Are you sure no one had done it before? That is what they'll ask you in a defense and in Viva. Are you sure no one had done it before? How are you going to prove it? Literature review. You must have very strong literature review and problem statement. Okay, that is very, very, very crucial. Let's look at some questions. Dr. Thava, when can we see the diagram you have mentioned just now? Actually, you can go and look at my video on that. Let me quickly look for it. Hold on a minute, okay? Okay, this is the video. Okay, this is the video on thesis contribution diagram for Viva and proposal defense. If you go to my link, let me block this. If you go to my link, then you'll be able to watch this particular video. Okay, all right. I hope that helps. I have like whole explanation here. Let me just run this through very quickly. This is my thesis contribution diagram. This was in my own thesis. I did this. This was very helpful. Then the examiner immediately knew that what I actually contributed. Why? Don't look at this and get afraid. I had 9 chapters in my thesis. I had 12 papers published. So I have a lot of contributions in my PhD. Okay, I have a lot of contributions there, right? So that is where you can go and find out where you can actually find the thesis contribution diagram. Okay. Then there's more question. What's from Janabel? What's the difference between dependent and independent variables? Oh, that's the basic of research. Dependent variable is what you want to test. Independent variable is what you're going to use to test. As simple as that. Okay. Every research is about testing. It's just different generic terms. Okay. It's just everything is about something is there already. You're putting something into that to test, and you want to see the outcome. All right. Okay, I already answered that. For making problem statement or research gap, how many authors should we cite? There's no limitation, Monsieur. There is no limitation. It depends on your research. Okay, it depends on your research. There is no rule of thumb. Okay, but problem statement generally it should be within say 1 to 1.5 pages in a thesis. In a journal paper, it could be like half a page. Example. Okay, it could be less than half a page, single column, less than half a page, single column. In thesis, it could be 1 page, it could be 2 pages. Maximum, if you ask me, 2 pages. More than that is too long. Okay, it's too long. All right. Please post the diagram as a picture. I've already posted. When I find time, I'll definitely do. Or much easier, I just given the link and watch my video. Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Thesis contribution diagram it is a new concept that I actually introduced. Okay, when I was doing my research, I was explaining to my supervisor these are my findings. He couldn't understand. He said, no, I cannot really understand because he's more a visualistic person. So what I did, I went and designed a diagram to explain the whole thing, and actually it was very, very helpful for me. Okay, actually very, very helpful. Okay, this season is very helpful for my PhD. Oh, thank you, Shadin, thank you, appreciate that. Okay, lovely tips, thank you. Okay, you have a question. For problem statement thesis, do we need to cite others' work in the statement or make the statement in general form? For problem statement in thesis, do we need to cite others' work in statement? No, no, you have to cite. In problem statement, definitely need to cite. Without citing, how you're going to define that no one had done it before? Some supervisors only want you to state the problem. Don't talk about literature. Some. I don't know why they do that, but for me, problem statement, you must cite. Okay, that's how it should be. Okay, do quali need a theoretical conceptual framework? Some people do. Honestly, some people do. Some people do a thematic diagram. I've seen it before, thematic diagram with teams and so on, what they're focusing on. Okay, essentially, framework, you are trying to show people what is your solution in a diagram, in a figurative manner, rather than just describe. Very boring to read. Okay, imagine you're watching a film and then the film is all words. For 2 hours film from beginning to imagine Avengers. I love Avengers by this. So I always refer to Avengers. Avengers from the beginning until the end, it's all words. Will you watch? Exactly. You won't watch. So diagram is good. Diagram is very good. All right. Okay, it's perfect to cite. Yes, definitely perfect to cite. Guys, I can see a lot of viewers increasing and increasing. For those who just joined us, before I continue any further, I need your help to share the session across group, my own group, Effective Academic Writing, or wherever you can share pages, doctor support group, your own timeline. In the comment column, you can keep tagging your friends so they'll be able to join us. Okay, keep tagging them. Yeah, tag them. They'll be able to join us. Okay, we have one more question. Can we have more than one issue in background study? You can have as many issues as you want. If you want to do your PhD forever, then you can do as many issues as you want. If you want to finish it within 3 years, then try to limit it. Okay, if you want to do for the next 10 years, you can. Sorry, you can include whatever you want in the background. I mean, more than one issue. But if my advice to you is always try to stick to very narrowed manner, a narrowed issue. Try to stick to that. Don't go too much. Okay, you are not doing rocket science. Okay, even if you want to do rocket science, do it after your PhD. Your PhD, do enough to get your PhD. Otherwise, your journey will be very tedious. Okay, I hope I've answered. Let's move on. Okay, where to watch full video on problem statement? Okay, problem statement video. Let me see. Actually, problem statement video got many because it's a very huge issue. Problem statement video, you can basically, let me go back to here. Okay, so problem statement here, you can look for problem statement. Excuse me. I even got a session on writing a review, SLR conceptual and scoping review as well. Okay, problem statement here, problem statement research objectives, and then got one more problem statement here, problem statement writing series 2, and then this thing is not loading for some reason. Okay, but anyway, if you go to my link, my playlist, okay, you'll be able to watch all the videos. Okay, all the videos, literally. All right, so all you need to do is visit, spend some time, go through all the videos. Okay, so this is the link, bit.ly/Dr. Thava videos. If you cannot find, do PM me, I'll give you the link. Okay, bit.ly/Dr. Thava videos. Okay, so let me try and copy that link for you. Look at the comment column. Yeah, look at the comment column. I'm pasting it there now. You can take it from there. Okay, so let's look at some question. How do you find research gap? How do you find research gap? I have a video for that as well. Go and watch my video. Okay, I have a video for that. Is it okay to discuss problem background, or do we need separate? You have to separate it. Please separate it. But it will be related, but please separate it. Okay, next thing is how to cite a problem that gained from a preliminary interview to confirm the problem that we found through LR. This is a long question. I would advise you to PM me. Let me see what I can do. Okay, all right. Louis Spencer, you can do undermining theory and research framework and quality study. Okay, this is for Louis Spencer. One of our audience replied to you. Thank you very much. Which one comes first? Research gap, usually it's in literature review chapter. It's actually not required. Some people require you, some people don't require. It's up to you. Depends on supervisor. If they want you to write research gap, then you write. Okay. What is the difference between issues and problem statement? Issues are problem statement. I don't think there's any issue. Dr. Safwan, thank you for joining. Issues and problem statement. I think problem statement issues are part of problem statement. That's why you're doing problem anyway. Okay. All right. Dr. Safwan, what is the difference between issues? Okay, this is what I've just answered. Next thing is, okay, here is the link that you can copy. Dr. Safwan, I hope I've answered. If you copy this link, you can find all my videos, okay? Okay, yeah, my dad said the same. Don't do for rocket science. Make it simple, significance. Thanks, doctor, for reminding. No problem. Okay, pleasure is all mine. All right, so now let's look at problem statement from my video itself. From my video itself, I just took this snippet to show you. Problem statement should have all this. Okay, if you watch the video, you'll be able to see this. 4 things: put the problem in context, describe the precise issue that the research will address, show the relevance of the problem, set the objectives of the research. Okay, so this is combining problem statement and purpose statement together. So these are the 4 elements you should have. What do we already know? What do we need to know? Why do we need to know it? What will you do to find out? Okay, all right. So that is what problem statement is all about. You must have all these elements. All right. Next thing from Rosalind, can't seem to access the link. The content isn't available right now. When this happens, it's usually because the owner only shared it with a scroll group. No, actually I shared it public. I shared it public, so shouldn't be an issue actually. Okay, but now my later, please PM me. Let's see if I can help you or not. Okay, all right. So let me explain to you. How many of you actually find trouble in problem statement? How many of you? How many of you are struggling in problem statement? Okay, while you answer, how many of you always get bombarded with problem statement? How many of you got defense correction with problem statement? How many of you got problem with problem statement during your Viva, from your supervisor? Please share. Hit comment. I want to see. I want to see how many people actually struggling. Okay. Why? Because in my sessions, all of our coaching sessions with me, my group of consultants, these are all my consultants. We have like 70 our consultants at the moment in different field, different subject areas. And what do we actually consult? We look into publication, content editing, thesis examiner response, proposal defense examiner response. That's why I know where the actual problems are, where normally people struggle. That's why I always emphasize in these areas: PhD proposal consultancy, defense viva preparations, thesis to journal conversions, data analysis and interpretation. These are the things that we normally consult upon. Okay, so most of the time, from what I see, they always struggle with problem statement. Okay, while you guys answering, don't forget, hit the share button, share the session. I'm not going to let you guys go without sharing, because today is very, very important. I spent a lot of time preparing this, and tag your friends, whoever wants to watch this. Okay, so let's look at some answers now. I'm struggling with problem statement. Definitely, I can see that. Me, me, I have problem with problem statement. Okay. I think my problem statement is not problematic enough. Okay. Me, and for the significance part. Okay, me too. Okay. There are many me here. Okay, I can see. Memang it is a true problem. Okay, it is a true problem. So that is what normally we do as part of our coaching sessions. This is what we normally do. Okay, these are the things that we all normally focus on upon. Okay, I'm not sharing about 11 steps today because I keep sharing. So I'm sharing something else today. I also have another a complete development process through 11 steps of proposal and PhD thesis and publications as well. Okay, so I can see a lot of people. Thank you for tagging. Thank you. A lot of people are actually struggling with this. Okay, so let me explain further the next one. Okay, actually it's here, I forgot. It's actually, okay, 11 steps. This is how you construct your thesis or proposal. Okay, proposal and thesis actually. And then where do you actually extract publications? This guideline alone have enabled a lot of people to graduate. Actually, as a matter of fact, today, what do you call that? Mr. Ravi contacted me from MMU. He finally got the permission to submit his thesis. Congratulations to Mr. Ravi. After going through our entire consulting program for his major correction that he got for his thesis, finally submitting and is finishing already. So why we can enable that? Because we go step by step. A lot of people come and tell me once they finish step 1, they say, can you immediately look into chapter 2 now? Let's talk about it. I say, wait first. Finish chapter 1, 10 pages proposal. Let your supervisor, give some time to your supervisor. Let them go through, understand, see whether you have any issues or not before you go into chapter 1 to 3. This is how you must go step by step. Okay, so actually this one is actually blocking. Let me try to okay, so if you see here, there are two journal productions here as well, where you produce journal after you finish your proposal. Then you go until defense correction, proposal defense. You train for proposal defense. We provide that as well. Then you go for data collection, consultancy, analysis. Then you do chapter 1 to 5. What do you call that? Alignment. Okay, my camera is blocking here. Then you finish your Viva. We train you for Viva. Before your Viva, you can produce another two more journals. This is how we carry out step by step. This is the easiest way to do it. Don't immediately jump. Take one step at a time. PhD is not, it is about rushing, but at the same time, you shouldn't go into ultra steps before you finish the previous step. Because then, if the previous step is wrong, the ultra step wrong already. You have to redo the whole thing. Okay, so be very, very careful. Then strategize carefully. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, these are the type of services that we provide: content commenting, face-to-face, online coaching, sometimes content editing for special cases. All right. So we have a question here. I already got problem statement from in one article, and many issues addressed in that article. I found not much article discussed on my area of study. One author not enough to generate problem statement. Okay, let me ask you a question. How many papers have you read? Okay, oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Took a lot of time for me to design the diagram. Okay, so let me wait for your answer, Brother Hairul. How many papers have you read so far? Okay, next thing is, I think problem statement should have linked with research objective and research questions. Definitely. It goes without saying. They're all linked together. There is nothing in your thesis that cannot be linked. Everything must be connected. When it's not connected, then only you get, sorry for my language, screwed. Okay, you actually get screwed. So everything must be linked. Okay, so Miss Hanis, RQ what you want to answer in your study. Problem statement, what is the problem that you want to solve? Am I correct? Okay, problem statement is what you want to solve. RO is you're going to show what you're going to do to solve. RQ is further down one more step, how you're going to break down the problems to solve it. Further breakdown. Okay, all right. So I'm waiting for I'll wait for Mr. Hyrule to answer. Okay, so let's go to the next part. Okay, in terms of how well we have done, these are all testimonials from our clients, and further testimonials can be found on our Facebook basically page. Why I'm showing this particularly, because recently a lot of my clients who actually got consulted or proofread in other firms, they got royally in problem. So always before you choose your service providers, please spend some time to go and check out for their reviews. If they hide the review tab from their Facebook page, then please don't take up the service. Be very careful. They hide because they get bad reviews. We don't hide because we only get good reviews. Okay, 5 out of 5, although so many people review already. Okay, so be very, very careful before you choose. Take extra care. Okay, read a lot but different setting. Okay, give me a rough number. Give me a rough number, I'll be able to answer you. Give me a rough number. Okay. From Mr. Bowen, how to get a strong problem statement? What are the niches we should look into? Strong problem statement is about whether you can prove others had done it or not, how far others had come to achieve what you're trying to achieve, what are the problems with whatever they had done, and then what you're going to do to solve that problem. This is the entire flow of problem statement. That's how, so depending on your research, how you're going to break it down. Okay, all right. So let's go to the next part. This is the entire connectivity of problem statement. At least for this diagram, for those who haven't shared yet, please share the session, tag your friends in your comment column. This is the ultimate diagram that shows how everything is connected. Okay, how everything is connected. Statement of research problem, your problem statement, is in a way connected to your hypothesis. Your hypothesis is definitely connected to all your variables and conditions applied in your research. Okay, and hypothesis is also ultimately connected to operational definitions. All of these connections are binded by your relevant theory and also existing knowledge. Your literature review, your theory connects up the whole thing, and these are the direct connections. Okay, that means your research problem should lead to generating a hypothesis via research objective and research questions. From there, your hypothesis should lead to the availability of your variables, what conditions apply for research, your operational definitions, and all of these are binded together by your theory and literature review. Okay. Okay, I don't know who is this actually because I cannot see. Oh, Bofin Event Management. Okay. Basically, Dr. Asma is announcing this Q1 journal workshop coming 5th of March. So whoever interested, you can definitely PM me. I'll announce the later. Okay. So we have Miss Jana. Reading is one thing, Dr. Thava. Reading the right thing can be very challenging. How do we manage that? That's why reading widely is important for you to narrow down what you want to read. So when you limit your reading capacity at certain point, then you won't be able to reach all those important literature. Okay. Will you put up this slide? Yes, I will. I will. Okay, I will. All right. So this is the entire connectivity. Okay. We have another question here. Can we write the problem statement background of study or do we need separate? You need to separate. Okay, you need to separate. All right. So now coming to research objectives and questions. We're not done yet. Number 6, then we got number 7 to go. Research questions and objectives provide specific restatement and clarifications of the overall goal of the purpose of research. That's what I explained earlier. How to get to the goal is what research objective and research questions will tell your readers, will tell you how to get there. Okay. So if your research objective and research questions are wrong, your journey would be wrong. Okay. All right. I hope that is clear. In a research, restatements typically take from the form of research questions and objectives. All right. Guidelines for writing objective and research questions. I'll be going more on this in the next class. We are not done yet. We got one more slide to go, one more item to go. And develop hypothesis, question, objectives from theory. Because most of us do research to develop theory further. So everything should come back to us from the theory. Right? More coming in the next session because you're almost reaching 1 hour already. I expected so. How do we know it is enough, Thava? Actually, I don't have answer for that, to be honest to you. Let me tell you my own experience, what I did. I went through almost 1250 or 1260 papers in my whole PhD. Okay, so you should tell me how much you have read. I have read this much. I still have the entire folder. I have a count because I organize all my papers. That is how much I have read. All right. Next thing is the WH questions effect on RQ construction? Can you repeat the question again, Mr. Ali? Okay, no problem. Thank you. We're not done yet. Don't go yet. Don't leave yet. Okay. Okay. So next session is coming 6th February. 5th February is help day. That means you come and ask your questions. Anything I'll answer if I can within my knowledge. 6th February, we're going to do formulation of research questions. That's where I'm going to continue this session. That will be the series 2 for chapter 1. That's what I thought because it's already 1 hour today. Okay. So don't forget, schedule this. Go to my Facebook page, like our Facebook page so that you'll be notified when I go live. And if you go to the event tab in my Facebook page, Proofreading by UK PhD, event tab, you'll be able to register for the session. Okay. Register for all the sessions. Register for all this. No money, everything free. So please come and join. Okay. Let me ask you, so far for those who are rewriting right now, don't leave yet, guys. We still got a bit more to go. What is your toughest section to write? What is your toughest section? Doesn't matter which chapter. Tell me where is your toughest section to write so that when I do future classes, I will know which part to look into. Okay, this is for your own benefit. Tell me what is your toughest section to write. Okay, so before we get all the responses, we have easily 200 plus viewers at this time. Please, all of you answer this. This is important. And for those who just joined us through tagging, please tag your other friends to watch this session. Please share this session across group, page, your profile, your timeline, anywhere. Just go and share so others can come and watch. Hit the love button, guys. Hit more love button. Yeah, more love. All right. So let's see from Bowen, problem statement. Okay. The ultimate toughest. Okay, next one, literature review. Okay, understood. Literature. Okay, mostly literature. All blasting in literature. Literature, problem statement, literature. Conclusion. Okay, surprisingly, I saw one conclusion. Oh, I cannot even click. Oh, okay. All right. Paraphrasing. Okay, paraphrasing methodology. I understand. More than 25 articles. Okay, Mr. Hyrule. More than 25 articles is not even close. You have not even scratched the surface yet. If you ask me, 25 articles are nothing. Once you reach 100 articles, then you let me know. Okay, as I just mentioned, I read more than 1,000 papers in my PhD. Even then, I missed out some. Okay, so that's my personal advice to you. You have not read enough. Thank you. Problem statement, data analysis. Okay, that's a different one. Thank you. No problem. Discussion. If our findings are not as expected. Okay, discussion. Thank you for tagging. Appreciate that very much. One LR class, please, Doctor. Coming. Still in progress. Okay. WH questions. What is WH? I don't know what is WH. Sorry. So please kindly explain. Yeah. Oh, I mean by WH questions like how, what, and soon affect on argue construction, qualitative research. Okay. Okay. How and what? Okay. Usually, certain words when you use it cannot be quantified, so you cannot use it for quantitative. Certain words you use is quantified, so you cannot use it for qualitative. That's what it is. Okay. So also literature review chapter 3. Okay. Thank you for the flow chart. No problem at all. The pleasure is all mine. Don't forget, guys, go and watch all my videos. It will be very, very helpful for you. Okay. Don't forget, ultimately, no matter what you do in terms of writing, if your language is not good, you will be destroyed end of the day. Okay. So proofreading, editing, structuring to improve your overall flow, paraphrasing, all of these are important. All of these services we do provide. If you are stuck, you can always come back to us. Okay. So don't worry about that. And we do provide language warranty. And for thesis, we provide up to 30% off for proofreading, translation, and formatting services. Okay. So for any of you that need language, we are here to help. Okay. All right. So again, don't forget step 1, step 2, step 3 that you need to do. Hit the share button and press the love button. Share it to group page profile. In the comment column, please tag your friends. Okay. So I can see, do we have scope of study in chapter 1? Scope of study in chapter 1 depends. Some people do include, some people don't. Okay, some people don't. Depends. Like I said, chapter 1 is not exactly rigid. It depends on supervisor and the school, how they tune it. Okay, I learned so much from Philippines. Thank you very much for joining. Your video always being so helpful, Doc. Thank you for joining again. Thank you very much. So don't forget, Q1 journal writing workshop is coming with Elsevier template, the only one and only my own design template. Come and join me. Talk to me if you're interested to join. Coming soon, end of this month. Okay, so don't forget about that. So I'll see you soon on 5th February. Thank you, everyone. Writing Q1 paper is very, 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 very tough. Okay, so come and join my workshop. It'll be definitely helpful. Okay, so wish you all the best, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great, great day and hope to see you very soon. This coming Friday, I think. Okay, that's help day. Whoever needs help, come and join me. Okay, thank you very much. Wish you all the best.